All right, we're going to do another little winter scene this year for Christmas. Over the years, I've carved Christmas ornaments. I've done all that kind of stuff, and the 2,400 videos I've got. And these little Christmas scenes are really nice to do. If you can carve a figure, they're wonderful to do. Now, I cut my pieces out. I know a lot of people complain because I don't go from a block of wood. But I have a bandsaw, and there's no use me going from a block of wood with a bandsaw. And there are plenty of people that carve things out of a block of wood. I've even carved a lot of stuff, huge figures, big figures, things like that. But not everything can be out of a block of wood. And maybe this encourage you to get you a bandsaw. Someone told me the other day that, I paid $600 for my bandsaw. And someone said, well, that's an expensive hobby. Well, this isn't just a hobby for me. This is an enjoyment for me. A lot of people go, well, $600 for a bandsaw? That's horrible. That's terrible. How could you do that? But yet they'll turn around and spend $16,000 for a bass boat or a fishing boat or something like that. So I don't look at it as a waste of money, because this is what I love to do. And this time we're gonna carve a little Christmas scene with snow, but I'm gonna carve a couple little dogs in the scene. And this is only about a 2 3/4 inch figure right here. It's 2 3/4 inch. So it's a small figure. So the dogs are going to have to be smaller than that, which they'll probably be maybe 2 inch or something like that. But we're going to put them in the scene as well. Now, naturally, we just like in most cases, let's go ahead and draw where the head is going to be. And we're just going to come back here and do some. This is sort of a rounding off process that we do. I always start off with the head to kind of give the body a little luff, as we say. And I always usually carve him with a hat, but I'm not going to carve him with a hat. I'm going to have him out in the cold, and he'll be wrapped up, but I'm going to. And we did one with just a guy, with just a person, last Christmas. But this Christmas, we're going to add a couple of dogs to it, and that'll make it even more special. They're small dogs. They're going to be small because this figure is small. And they'll either be 1.5 inches high or 2 inches high. Probably 1.5 inches high. That we're going to be doing. See, all I'm doing is just rounding off the figure a little bit. go ahead and down here and just kind of take a little bit off all the way around the character. This isn't a video on doing a character, okay? This is a video on doing, because I've got a lot of videos on doing small figures. This is a video on doing the Christmas scene and how we would do it, in other words, with the dogs and all that other stuff. Now, what we got to decide, how we going to do. Over here, I'm going to put his hands in his pockets, just like this. I draw that, and then I cut on that line. It is just the beginning of December as I'm doing this. Soon it will be Christmas. Soon everything will be good. And that is a blessing for everyone to worship the birth of our Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. We're just doing the arms here. Okay. Yeah, I have done a lot of pieces, figures from just a block of wood, but why have a bandsaw if you're going to do all your figures from the block of wood? So I don't know how it happened, but somebody put out a video where they were rating the people on YouTube as far as carving videos, and I was able to get the #1 spot. Of course, maybe that's because I have so many videos. I don't really deserve that, but I appreciate the thought of doing that. I really do. But it was never important for me to be #1 at anything. It really wasn't. I appreciate the thing. I just don't, with me and in my life, I've done this only for one reason: for your enjoyment, to help you learn, and to enjoy it myself. I've been doing a lot of years. I'm so proud of my friend Doug Linker. He was #2, and Doug hasn't been really doing carving a long time. Gotta kind of come back on this right here. And I'm just proud of him, hoping that one day he'll just overtake me completely and be doing most all the carving videos. There's another one that a lot of people, she really hasn't got the due date. She came in #5, is Arlene Zoomer. Arlene went way back with me as far as carving videos. And I put it in this pocket here. Run that line and then just Do that. See? Here's Arlene Zoomer. And Arlene has Carver's Workshop. And Arlene is a very good friend of mine, and I've talked to her many times. She's a blessing. And she has just as many videos as I have. But she is a blessing, I'll tell you what. Now, the difference between Arlene and I is Arlene does sell a lot of her stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. Okay, we've got this done. Just kind of moseying around, cutting some stuff off. Now the next, I think I want to put a cane in his hand. I want him to be an older man going out to a lot of people ask me why I don't do a lot of women. I don't do a lot of women because the expression on their faces is not. I like to do the expression on, especially the older men, expression on their faces and things like that. Okay. There we go. Now, what I want to do is come here, and I want to put the hand about right there. I've done this before. Put the hand there, and run it like this, and run it up like this. Because I want to put I'm going to cut that right in there. Remove that. And cut that down there. And remove that. And cut along there. Cut along here and cut back over here. I never set out to be a number one in anything. I just set out to help people and for the enjoyment of people doing things. And we're probably going to have a new president. Okay. Not necessarily the one that I would have wanted. But, you know, that's what this country's about. It's about free voting. And I know there's some election stuff and everything like that, but I'm not going to get into that. Not into any political stuff. And yes, I did care for Donald Trump, and I did vote for him, but he didn't win. And that's the way that it happens sometimes. And I will not say that Joe Biden is not my president. I'm just not going to do that, because he is my president. Now, he's not my God, but he's my president. And I want what's best for the whole country, although I do disagree with a lot of the things that he says. He's still my president. And if he's going to be our president, then I'm going to try to support him all I possibly can. And I believe that's the way we should do. Okay, see how I put the hand like that so that I can put a cane in there. I don't usually talk politics. I just said we do have a new president. It looks like, I mean, you know, I know there's some fighting going on, but I won't get into all that about what's going to happen. I mean, in politics, fighting goes on all the time. I'm gonna tell you something, okay? And I'm just really like this. I myself believe politics is a very dirty thing. And I'm not talking about Trump, and I'm not talking about Biden, and I'm not talking about everything. I believe that politics is a very dirty thing. And I believe that people, the people in this nation are good people. And I believe that we as Americans are good people. And I think that everybody in this nation wants what's best for this nation. And they want to have a good economy, and they want to have those things. And if we vote for a man that doesn't do right, then we have no one but to blame ourselves. But you don't just go and hate this person, say he's not my president, he isn't, and everything like that. I knew a lot of people that did that with President Trump, and that is a lie. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's not my president. If he's going to be my president, he will. But I know a lot of people are upset right now and stuff. And that's not my choice, okay? But whether it was my choice or not, he is going to lead this country. And I hope and pray that God will be with him and will guide him in any way. You know, God still is in control, folks, of this world. And that's the wonderful thing that I know, is that he's still in control. And that you know, God can work through Joe Biden, and he can work through the Democratic Party. Maybe, you know, I don't feel that some of their ideas were what I would have had, but it can happen. And we're just all very different in what we want. So all I can say is that he is my president. Now, I mean, if he becomes our president, which I truly believe he will, then I will respect him as that. I don't respect a lot of things that the party does, but because as a Christian, I just, there's some things that I don't like. But there were some things I didn't like about Trump. So I'll give Mr. Biden a chance. But you know, it's the same thing whenever I was working. I had a lot of bosses I didn't like. I didn't like at all, and I didn't respect them. I really didn't. But I showed them respect because they were my boss. When I say I didn't respect them, I didn't respect a lot of their ways and means. And we had one boss out there that was bragging to us about how he cheated on his wife and all that other stuff. And I don't like those type of things. I believe in marriage and all that other stuff. But you know what? He was still my boss. And I respected him as my boss. I didn't necessarily respect him as a person for the things he did and the things he bragged about. But that's what I'm talking about. Mr. Biden, just like my boss, maybe he does some things I don't like. But you know what? That's not the key, and that's not the idea. God tells me I'm to respect him as an individual and as a president. And I guess I learned that from my dad. I really did. There were a lot of people, adults in my life that I did not like, older adults. But you know what? I respected them, and God tells me to, and I did. So that's the whole key. The whole key is, I know that going through life, I'm not going to get always what I want. But whatever I get, I have to be thankful to God that it is there. And that God can use. Because we just seem to think that God can only use certain people. But I remember reading in the Bible, God used a lot of people that you wouldn't have never thought He would use and stuff. So it's the way I look at things. And as a Christian, I have to, God tells us to love people we don't necessarily care for, and to respect them, because I never know if God might use that person in a very special way or something like that. Just don't. You never do. I've been very, very wrong in my life about people sometimes, thinking that this person, I remember I had a very good friend that I worked with named Paul Viator. Great guy. And he got ready to marry this woman, and I tell you what, I never thought, I thought, oh man, this woman is not right for him. I mean, this marriage won't last 5 months, it won't last 6 months. I mean, she wasn't a bad person, but they just didn't seem right for one another. Well, they celebrated, their, let's see, their 40-something wedding anniversary. Isn't it wonderful? And I thought that would never make it. See how wrong I can be? I really didn't. But that's the wonderful thing about God sometimes is He can do things and make things work where we just go, I've told God many times, Lord, that ain't gonna work. And the Lord goes, okay, let me show you how it does. So He's funny. He's still my buddy, and I talk to him a lot. And I tell him all the time, I said, there's that, and I know his wife real, real well, and we've talked, and I never in the blue moon would think that marriage would have ever made it. But they're celebrating 40 years. Isn't that amazing? Because they got married early. They were, I think Paul now is around, Paul probably is around 60. They got married when he got married when he was around 20. So Paul's around 64. So it's probably been about 20 to 64 is 44 years.